Good morning. Myself, I'm Arakshaya. I'm from CSIT branch. My roll number is 21955583301. Today, my AAT Tech Talk subject is Object Oriented Software Engineering, and the concept is the software architect and DevOps. What is the role of a software architect? What is a software architect means? A software architect makes high-level design choices and frames technical standards. This might include tools, software coding standards, or platforms to be used. To be effective, a software architect needs broad and deep technical knowledge to make good decisions. A software architect is a software engineer responsible for high level design choices related to overall system structure and the behavior. Software architect hard skills needed. There is no one size fits all definition because different program projects may require different technical knowledge, but there are some skills that all projects will require. Unified Modeling Language UML is often listed as an essential requirement. What is certainly essential is familiarity with diagramming complex architects. Manage software development practices in a collaborative and agile fashion. That often means a deep familiarity with DevOps practices. This takes hard skills such as creating an efficient DevOps environment and soft skills to keep development and operations teams aligned. Software architect hard skills needed. However, just as important as the technology related skills are the commonly called soft skills that can drive performance and bring team members together for successful projects. The first hard skill needed is leadership. Overseeing the development of a project and coordinating teams of developers to meet design standards requires significant leadership. Software architects must be able to juggle the needs and demands of projects and the teams. And the second hard skill needed for software architect is problem solving and conflict resolution. Managing and coordinating all of the elements that go into a successful application project requires strong problem solving skills, both technical and non technical, called human. Communication. Communication is a key ingredient in any leadership position. To get the best of teams, software architects must clearly explain the mission, deadlines, and expectations. The fourth implies coaching and inspiration. If expectations aren't being met, leaders have to coach and inspire team members to achieve. And the fifth includes organization. Since software architects set the roadmap for development, being organized is key. Often large scale and intricate UML diagrams are necessary, which requires a systematic and organized way of thinking. Prioritizing. Software architects need to quickly prioritize tasks and juggle team members' assignments throughout a product's development. And the seventh includes detailed thinking. In any development project, there are a significant number of details that must be managed correctly. This requires extreme attention to detail to make sure the project code meets objectives. And the eighth includes creative thinking. The software architect has to move teams forward to accomplish the creativity and to find alternate solutions and to build regardless of the obstacles or creative ways to solve the required problems. So these are the eight software architect hard skills needed for the software architect. How to become a software architect? If you are looking into transition from your current role into a software architect position, there are a couple of key things you should be doing right now. Expand your technical skills. The first one, a software architect is a full stack developer. You'll need broad experience across multiple programming languages. If you have been creating work primarily in one area, you'll need to learn others. And the second implies manage projects and people. Find opportunities within your current job where you can take on extra responsibility. Look for a mentor. Find someone you respect that has the job you want and ask for coaching. The right mentor can help you achieve your goals and can be lifelong resource. Continuing education. Consider getting outside training to shore up skills you need and look for certifications that will bolster your case when you are applying for jobs. DevOps is a set of practices extended to reduce the time of practices intended to reduce the time committing a change to a system and the change being placed into normal production while ensuring high quality. Now let us look at into the DevOps in architecture, the monitoring. In DevOps, monitoring becomes a much more important factor in architecture and design in order to meet operations requirements. The chapter 1 on monitoring explains what you need to monitor and why. DevOps metrics challenges in monitoring systems under continuous change, monitoring microservices, and monitoring in cloud and common log management and monitoring tools for online systems. Monitoring also becomes an important part of live testing in DevOps, that is, monitoring as testing, and plays a key role in continuous deployment. The authors look at common kinds of live testing, including canaries, A/B testing, and Netflix famous Simian Army in terms of passive checking. Security Monkey, Compliance Monkey, and the active live testing Chaos Monkey and Latency Monkey. DevOps in architecture security. Security is another important cross cutting concern in software architecture addressed in this book. It looks at security fundamentals including how to identify threats using Microsoft's STRIDE model and the resources that need to be protected. CIA Identity Management Access Controls. It provides an overview of the security controls in NIST 80053 and common security issues with VMs and in cloud architecture, specifically AWS. In DevOps, security needs to be wired into continuous deployment, enforcing that all changes to code and configuration are done through the continuous deployment pipeline. Security testing should be included in different stages of continuous deployment pipeline. Securing the pipeline itself, including the logs and the artifacts. And security checkouts need to be part of monitoring, such as Netflix Complaints Monkey and Security Monkey. DevOps and modern software architecture. DevOps, a software architect's perspective, does a good job of explaining common DevOps practices, especially continuous deployment in a development instead of operations and context. It also looks at contemporary issues in software architecture, including visualization and microservices. It is less academic than past other book software architect in practice and emphasizes the importance of the real world operations concern like reliability, security, and transparency, monitoring and live checks and testing in architecture and deployment. This is a book written mostly for enterprise software architects and managers who want to understand more about DevOps and continuous deployment and cloud services. The rise of DevOps. For years, developers and operations had different goals. On one hand, developers tried to push new functionalities and features into the software application, while operators were responsible for maintaining the availability and dependability of the application. The core aim of DevOps is to achieve both high frequency releases of new features and dependability by promoting shared responsibility and collaboration between dev and ops teams. By definition, DevOps is a set of practices that helps in reducing the time between committing changes to the system and changes being placed into the production environment while maintaining software quality. And here comes the question called why DevOps. In a DevOps model, the development team and operation teams are not separated and are sometimes merged into a single team where engineers work throughout the application development lifecycle, from development to deployment to operations. An alternative DevOps model where quality and security teams also become tightly integrated with the DevOps team in the software development lifecycle is referred to as DevSecOps. Using the DevOps model, the development and operations team together can move at high velocity, provide rapid delivery, make the application more reliable by monitoring and logging, increase security, enhance collaboration, and scale infrastructure and development process with ease. Thank you.